Hi guys, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'll be covering continuous integration, continuous delivery, and continuous deployment in DevOps. And also I will explain common bottlenecks in DevOps CICD process and how to overcome them. Guys, I have uploaded complete DevOps subject tutorials. I will provide that link in description. You can watch from there. If you are watching this video for the first time, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Let's get started. At first, I will explain what is continuous integration. Shortly, we call it a CI process. So, whenever developer write any code or modify any code, then they will check in that code into source repository. That is nothing but whenever developer write any code or modify any code, then he will place that code into Git software. And by writing small lines of commands in Git software, they will transfer that code from Git to GitHub. GitHub is nothing but it is a website. So whenever developer add or modify any new code into GitHub, then that code is automatically sent to CI server. Jenkins software is example of CI server. Then the CI server will perform build and test operations on that code. For example, I am developer. I place a new code in GitHub. So whenever I place code in GitHub, automatically Jenkins will get alert message. In Jenkins, by using tool like maven, they will perform build operations. That is nothing but they will compile and execute my code. So maven tool will perform build operation. That is nothing but this maven tool will compile and execute my code. After successfully compiling and executing my code, then this Jenkins will perform test operation. Guys, basically we will perform two kinds of test. One is unit test and next one is integration test. By using tool like junit, we can perform unit test, and whereas by using tool like selenium, we can perform integration test. So if build and test is successful on my code, then artifact is generated. Guys, artifact is nothing but working software. It is collection of packages. The file which is working is known as artifact. So after successfully building and testing my code, then artifact is generated. For example, if we get any failure in build and test operations, automatically that notification is sent to developer. So again developer need to modify that code and he need to perform same operation again. This is all about continuous integration process. So whenever developer places code in GitHub, automatically Jenkins will get that message, and whereas in Jenkins, by using tool like maven, we can perform build operation. Build is nothing but compiling and executing. After successfully compiling and executing, by using tool like junit, we can perform unit test, and whereas by using tool like selenium, we can perform integration test. After both build and test operations are successful, then artifact is generated. For example, if there is any failure in build and test operations, that notification is sent back to these developers. Again, developer need to modify that code and he need to perform same operation again. This is continuous integration process. Guys, this is example how continuous integration process will work. Developer writes code and push it into a version control system like Git. Jenkins then monitors these repositories for changes. Guys, repositories are nothing but place where our code is present. We call that place as repository. So Jenkins will identify that whether any changes occurs in our code. Whenever changes are detected, then Jenkins will pull that code. Jenkins will take that code. Typically using a build tools like Maven or Gradle, they will build a project. By using tools like Maven or Gradle, we can perform build operation. After building, Jenkins may run unit test using tools like JUnit and integration test using tools like Selenium. The results of the test are typically reported back to Jenkins, whether the test is successful or failure. That is sent back to Jenkins. If build is successful, Jenkins may proceed to package the application into an artifact. Our application which is under working condition is known as artifact. Generally, artifact is a file which is under working condition. Whether that file can be jar file or var file, or it can also be a Docker image. This is all about continuous integration process. Next, I will explain what is continuous delivery process. Jenkins, after successfully creating artifact, we need to place that artifact in one duplicate server to check whether software is working smoothly or not. This is known as continuous delivery process. Shortly, we call it as CD process. So continuous delivery is nothing but placing our software in one dummy server in order to check whether application is working correctly or not. So developers, after writing code, check-in is nothing but after writing code, they will place that code in GitHub. From that GitHub, continuous integration test is performed. If it is successful, then artifact is generated. That artifact is placed in one mock server. Mock server is nothing but dummy server. Guys, before placing our software into one dummy server, at first we need to configure that server. And that configuration is done by using tool like Ansible. By using Ansible, we can configure our server. So in continuous delivery, the packed application is automatically prepared for release to production. They will not release, they will just prepare application in order to release to production. This can involve tasks like further testing, environment configuration, and final validation before deployment. So after placing application in dummy server, they will perform further tests like whether application is working smoothly or not after placing it into server, whether there are any errors, and it is considered as final validation before deployment. Before actually placing application into original server, this is final verification. If everything goes well here, then they will place that application into actual server. So in continuous delivery process, in order to configure server, we need to use tool like Ansible. Guys, from placing code to GitHub, continuous integration, continuous delivery, and continuous deployment. All this is automated by using various kinds of tools. Human beings will not perform all these tasks manually. All these tasks are automatically performed by using various kinds of tools. So this is example. In continuous delivery, Ansible will automatically configure server based on our application. Once everything is validated on sample server, the application is then ready for release to actual production server. So if we perform this operation on sample server, we will not face any problem on production server. This is all about continuous delivery. Next I will explain what is continuous deployment. Guys, CD stands for continuous delivery and continuous deployment. Continuous delivery is nothing but placing our application in sample server, whereas continuous deployment is nothing but placing our application into actual production server. If we place our application into actual production server, all users can access that application. For example, if you consider Amazon application, we all can access Amazon application because that application is present in production server. So whenever we place any application in production server, all users can access that application. As I already said before, this continuous integration, continuous delivery, and continuous deployment. All these operations are performed automatically by system itself. Human beings will not involve. So in continuous deployment, every successful build automatically goes into production without human intervention. Guys, production server is nothing but Kubernetes. We will place our application in Kubernetes, where this Kubernetes is production server. So deployment is nothing but placing our application into production server like Kubernetes. So tools like Kubernetes is used for automatically deploying and managing application into production server. So basically this Kubernetes software is present in our production server. So we will place our application in Kubernetes. So this is example. After Jenkins build and package the application, Kubernetes is used to automatically deploy the Docker image into production environment. Guys, we will not place our application directly into Kubernetes. Instead, what we will do is, by using software like Docker, we will convert our application into Docker image. And then we will place our application into Docker container. Then we will place that containerized application into Kubernetes. This is example. Developers will place code into GitHub. After placing code into GitHub, automatically continuous integration will take place. After that, continuous delivery will take place. And at last, continuous deployment will take place. That is nothing but placing our application into actual production server. Guys, this is complete CICD pipeline. So developers, after developing code, they will place that code into GitHub. After that, build and test is performed by using Jenkins. Then artifact is generated. Then Ansible will perform configuration on our server. So by using Docker application, we will create Docker image. We will place the Docker image in Docker container. After that, we will place our application in dummy server. If everything goes well, we will place that application in production server. Guys, this is complete CI/CD process pipeline. Next, I will explain common bottlenecks in DevOps CI/CD process and how to overcome them. And the first one is limited automation. Guys, if you perform continuous integration and continuous deployment manually by human beings, then it will take a lot of time. That is why in DevOps CI/CD process, we will completely use various automation tools in order to perform all these operations automatically. Second one is slow feedback loops. Guys, whenever any person gives us project, then immediately we need to develop that project and we need to release that project. So if we release application immediately, then user can easily identify and then he may give some changes. So waiting too long for feedback can delay development process. So solution is to optimize test and build process to run faster. So if we develop application very fast, then immediately we will get feedbacks from users. Third one is complex configuration management. Guys, manually configuring server is very tough. So in DevOps, we will use tool like Ansible in order to automatically configure our server. So it will save our time. And fourth one is poor collaboration. Guys, in DevOps, development team and operations team, they both must collaborate each other and complete work. So for this, they can conduct daily meetings and they can interact each other. Fifth one is inadequate monitoring and logging. Guys, even after placing our application in server, we need to check that whether application is working smoothly or not. So in DevOps, for monitoring and logging, we can use tools like Prometheus for monitoring and whereas ELK stack for logging. And last one is manual release process. Guys, if we release our application manually without using any automation tools, it will consume lot of time and there is high chance for errors. So in order to automate release process, that is in order to perform continuous integration and continuous deployment, we need to use tools like Jenkins, Ansible, Kubernetes, etc. So that within short period of time we can release our software, that with no errors or very few errors.